Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. New motion filed in the Bryan Kohberger case. The prosecution has filed a motion to seal the names of all grand jury witnesses. That's right, you heard it. The prosecution in the Bryan Kohberger's case wants the grand jury, the witnesses that appeared in front of the grand jury, they want their names to be sealed from the public, from the media, from everyone. I'm going to show you this motion, and then we will further discuss. New motion filed by William W. Thompson, Lake County prosecutor in the Bryan Kohberger case. Motion to seal grand jury witnesses. Comes now, the state of Idaho, by and through Lake County prosecuting attorney, and respectfully moves this court pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 6.2, 6.3, and 6.5 for an order sealing the names of all the witnesses examined before the grand jury herein. In support, the state respectfully represents to the court that it has received numerous complaints from potential or prospective witnesses or their families and associates regarding being harassed both in person and via social media. The reports of harassment have included threats as well as what appears to be intimidation. Given this and the broad publicity surrounding these proceedings, the state respectfully submits that releasing the names of the witnesses who appeared before the grand jury would invite additional harassment, intimidation, and possible threats, and undermine not only the integrity of this case, but the parties' prospective rights to a fair trial with an impartial jury. Wherefore, the state respectfully prays that the court order that the names of all witnesses examined before the grand jury be sealed. The state has communicated with counsel for the defendant and have been advised that they have no objection, with the understanding that the state in defense will be provided with an unredacted copy of the witness list. Submitted by William W. Thompson, prosecuting attorney, on this day in May 2023. Wow. Let me know what you think about this. So, families of witnesses and the witnesses are getting threatened and harassed in person and online. Who could that be? I'm assuming Dylan Mortensen, Bethany Funke for sure were witnesses to the grand jury. I mean, they're basically the prosecution's star witnesses. But it could also apply to law enforcement officers too, like Corporal Brett Payne and his family, Sergeant Blaker, Aaron Snell, the spokesman for the ISP, people that were involved with the DNA lab work, Pennsylvania authorities. But I'm thinking it's probably Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funke, because Dylan Mortensen in particular is getting a lot of backlash. She gets a lot of support, but she gets a lot of backlash due to her behaviors that early morning hours when the stabbings occurred, November 13th, about, she froze and saw the Kohberger, I'm saying Kohberger because I think it's Kohberger, walked past her, and she didn't call authorities, and the group waited 8 hours to call authorities into the day. A lot of people are skeptical about that, so I'm sure it's a possibility when Dylan Mortensen is out in public, people question her or call her out to her face on that. I'm wondering if Dylan Mortensen ever filed any police reports. Maybe I'll do a public records request and see in her county if she filed police reports herself on the matter of about being harassed or threatened or heckled or whatnot. But they want the witnesses sealed, and I think that's a good thing, to seal the witnesses. One, it's a secret proceeding. No one should be entitled to have that information anyway, according to grand jury rules. Anyone that participates in that, it's kept under wraps. It's kept quiet, and it protects their safety, I think, by having their names out there. that they participated with the grand jury could intimidate them and not want them to participate in future proceedings. You know, you could basically, it's, you know, harass and threaten a witness, you know, witness intimidation, it's called, you know, that could come into play. People, you know, there is supporters of Bryan Kohberger out there that, you know, support and think he's innocent. So, you know, those type of people, those outside fringe people could take it out on some of the witnesses. So just letting you know, it got sealed. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think it should be unsealed? What's your thoughts about Bryan Kohberger being indicted by the grand jury? Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. I'm covering this case. We'll talk soon. Stay tuned.